Hi. Ever since we started AI and Beyond, there has been myriad of activities that we've been involved in, uh, figuring out right from offerings to business model to what are the sort of details we need to drive our mission forward. Our mission being drive and elevate the bar of AI literacy for enterprises. Along with these series of activities we do and focus on every day, every week, one of my favorite ones, though it is probably a tiny part of what we do, is to experiment with the new tools and capabilities which comes and try to contextualize it to how professionals can use those capabilities in their day-to-day lives. And it was this mode of experimentation that led to the birth of this series, AI Tool Sneak Peek, which we have been doing for last 26, 27 weeks now. Um, and this week here, I was quite excited like a kid to try out one of the capabilities in NotebookLM, which is one of my favorite AI applications, which came out recently, which I was waiting for a long time. It was the creation of mind maps using NotebookLM. So what we focus on today in this video is how to comprehend complex research papers faster with NotebookLM's new mind map capabilities. Complex research papers, artificial intelligence is driven predominantly by research. So, every big company which kind of are working on models, they have a very astute focus on research as well as product building too. So research is the genesis, is the basis of a lot of new innovations that we are trying to do, and the outcomes of this research comes predominantly in form of the research papers, which are shared through various sites. And if you are a business leader, if you are a product manager, marketeer, or a professional in any other field, one of the uh, things which is or skills which is emerging as given in today's times is for you to be up to date on what is really happening in the field in AI on a day-to-day basis, and what of those the new dimensions, new things which are coming is relevant to you. And understanding research papers, as we have seen in our journey, is one of the most credible way of understanding the field and what's happening. But at the same time, these research papers tend to be complex, especially if you're not from the technology domain. And how can you quickly go and grasp the research paper so that you can really help, it can help you make sense of what is being talked about there and then apply it to your profession. Um, and this is where we experimented and figured out that NotebookLM's new mind map capability will be helpful. And while I'm speaking, I also found out a spelling error in my slide, so apologies for that. But uh, but that also tells that this is created by human and not AI. But jokes apart, let me tell you a little bit about Notebook LM's first, what the mind map capability is. So mind map really helps us visualize big picture instantly. And in Notebook LM, all that we need to do is to upload the research paper and hit mind map option, which I'll just show you in a bit. And it will just transform the pages of research in an interactive diagram. It can help you spot connections effortlessly. Since the ideas are branched into various streams, it can help you spot connections effortlessly and also cut through the noise, and help you focus on the core themes being talked about. And what I have seen, in my journey as a visual thinker also, that it helps to boost retention if we imbibe visual learning as a way of learning new concepts. So where do we apply this knowledge today? So there was a very interesting paper that Anthropic came up with in this week itself, which is tracing the thoughts of a large language model. Fascinating topic because all that we've been using AI tools, large language models for a long time, and and one of the things which is talked about these models are they are non-deterministic in nature, which means that it is uh, given that the words are generated based on probabilistic calculations, it is very hard to decipher the trace from where the words originated, from where the thoughts originated overall. And Anthropic's research and picked up this problem statement and came up with a very fascinating paper. And what I'm scrolling through right now is a blog that they wrote based on the paper, wherein they try to trace how LLMs think about certain problems, how they come up with their responses, etc. And I've not yet completely gone through this entire paper, but I'd like to show you how I approach it now with the mind map features coming into picture. Okay. And basically, I'll just complete scrolling through. So this is the blog that they have written, and fascinatingly, it is called as AI biology. That you're really getting into the uh, proverbial mind of a AI model and try to really figure out that thinking traces on how it is coming up with the responses. And in its research, Anthropic really talked about various examples, including uh, how does how is Claude multilingual and how is it dealing with various languages? How does Claude plan its rhymes? When you give it a poem. And Claude, for those of you who don't know, is a model which is a flagship model of Anthropic. Okay, and if I click on this paper, which is the link here, I get to the main paper, which is loading right now, and if you can see on the biology of large language model, I really find this title fascinating. And they really took their one of the lightweight model, which is 3.5 haiku, and ran through various research use cases that you see on your screen right now. Okay, if I need to learn and dig through, then this is a large paper, as you might imagine. And one way of going through this is to read through it line by line, and which will be great if you have time, energy, and interest. But if you don't have time, energy, and interest, the way I would recommend doing it is upload this paper to NotebookLM. So NotebookLM is widely positioned as Google's notebook assistant or a research assistant. I'll go a step back. NotebookLM.Google. This is how you access it, and let it load the page. I'll give it a few seconds. And all right, so we have the main page. It says, think smarter, not harder. It is your personalized AI research assistant. Myriad of use cases, but I'll talk about only one thing here. I just click try Notebook LM. I'm here on this screen. So I already have a notebook that I have created on AI papers where I'll show you how to upload. So this is we predominantly try and predominantly try and share all the research papers which are in there. So I you can upload this research paper saying add source and click on website. And as soon as you click on website, since this research paper is in a URL, I chose website. You can click on it and it will appear on the left hand side, okay, on biology of a large language model. And this is what I have selected. After that, I go to the central panel and click on the mind map option. And as soon as you click on the mind map option, the mind map will appear on the third panel. If you see here, Claude 3.5 Haiku, internal mechanisms of a large language model. And this feature takes a few seconds to a minute or so to create the large language model. And if I click on this, what you see is a distillation of this entire paper in the mind map form. Okay, you can collapse the various aspects of it. Like this is the title of the model of the paper. And if I click expand button, it really expands it further. I'll just to the various aspects of this paper. What are the different themes represented in this paper? And I can see where I am more interested in. I'll just start with the first one, Claude 3.5 haiku analysis. And as you can see here, it talks about the methodology that it used, what are the attribution graphs and replacement models and feature analysis. And if I click on the first part, circuit methodology, and what it does is it goes to the chat window, it prepares a question for me, and it will generate a response too. So sources discuss a circuit tracing methodology used to investigate the internal mechanism of Claude 3.5 IQ, where it is talking about what methodology Claude Anthropic use, the researchers use to come up with the uh, you know thinking traces on a certain types of problem. I can read through all the content which is being represented here, and after I have done that, I can ask it question in the chat box here itself. And post that, I just go again to the mind map. I'll just zoom it out. Uh, okay, this zooming button does not seem to work as well as I would have liked it to, but still, it is pretty useful. I come here, I just look at the various examples being represented here. Like I said, they had done this research on various types of example, including multi-step reasoning, planning in poems, addition, medical diagnosis, etc. I'll just go to multi-step reasoning, and it says two-hop reasoning, Dallas, Texas, Austin. What does it mean? I just go here and click it again, and it converted this part into a question, which you can see being answered here. And I look into that is an example as a key introductory illustration of multi-step reasoning performed internally by Claude 3.5 Haiku. And then it gives an example. It gives various aspects of it. And I can ask it, tell me in uh, a simple language in a short paragraph. What does the metaphor, or is it a metaphor? Um, Dallas, Texas, Austin mean. Okay, and as you can see, it'll. I just asked it to restrict its response. Okay, it says it represents internal thought process of haiku models and it appears to use answering the question about the capital of a state containing Dallas. It means that model first identifies Dallas, connects it to state of Texas, and uses the information about Texas to determine that its capital is Austin. And this is how the model is thinking, and this is what the research talks about. As you can see, this is pretty useful way to distill a paper and figure out which portions of the paper are necessary for you to understand the gist of it. And if needed, you can go deeper into that. One word of caution that I'd like to give here is that I never promote synthesis done via AI as a replacement for reading. I still feel reading is a basic literacy skill that all of us should continue to hone even in the AI era, because reading is the way in which we are going to apply our critical thinking to assess AI's output and also go deeper into the subject, which will require us to go through this paper. And this is what I intend to do after playing around with this to understand the gist of the entire paper. I want to go back here and read this whole paper out here. Okay. I hope you found this new way of learning the research papers through mind maps quite useful. I'd like you to try this out and share how and share your experiences on what you discovered and whether you found out a newer way that can still be better applied in to extend our learning. We'll be back next week. Till then, thank you so much and see you soon.